Hello, I am Mr. V, and I will be the narrator for Robomon's audiobook rendition of Equestria Ninja Girls by Wildcard25. Chapter 1 Dream Vision. Inside Ponyville Castle, home of Twilight Sparkle, the Princess of Friendship, the Pony Princess was in bed but started tossing and turning. Deep within her mind, she was having a dream. Twilight could hear herself panting and saw a figure land before her. He looked like a human version of a turtle, with a blue mask covering his eyes, and in both his hands were a pair of katana.
Twilight, are you alright?
He asked.
What is that?
Twilight asked herself.
You need to get out of here. It's not safe.
I can't leave you.
Twilight heard herself say.
I'll be alright. Go now.
Twilight heard some kind of shots from around. She looked up and saw three figures standing above them. The one in the center looked like a man wearing a metal helmet that concealed all but his eyes, and silver armor decked out in blades. On the right side was a skeletal wolf creature, and on the left was a tiger with a scarf and an eye patch over his left eye.
What a glorious day for vengeance.
The man began before looking behind him.
All right, you sing.
Twilight heard a familiar sound of vocalizing, and saw approaching were none other than the trio of sirens known as the Dazzlings.
Dazzlings? But this can't be. Their amulets were destroyed.
She thought in confusion as their voices echoed all around. She could see around their necks what looked like their amulets contained in metal collars.
The amulets are restored?
She saw that the amulets were powering up, and they assumed their half-siren forms they took on during the Battle of the Bands finals.
And now finish them.
The man in the blades ordered, as the two creatures next to him and the Dazzlings swooped down to attack Twilight and the turtle.
Twilight, no!
The turtle cried as he shielded her.
No! No!
Twilight screamed mentally before she awoke and gasped in fright. Twilight panted before catching her breath and looked around her room, seeing that nothing was wrong.
It's just a dream, but it felt so real. Who was that turtle guy? And the Dazzlings? They have their power back? Gotta go check on Sunset Cheer by my friends back in Canterlot High.
She saw how it was still dark out.
Okay, maybe I'll wait till the morning.
She decided to go back to sleep.
15 years we trained without distraction. Now it's time for ninja kick butt action. Trying to find a place, but we don't know where we're headed. All we know for sure, don't wanna get shredded. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You'll never see this coming, never know what hit you. We practice Teenage Mutant Turtle stealth ninjutsu. Sleep into the shadows when we walk among you. When it's time to strike, it's Cowabunga! Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles! Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles! Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles!
When the sun rose and brightened the day, Twilight and her dragon assistant Spike were up and about. The two waited until the rest of their friends arrived in the main room.
Sup, guys?
Rainbow asked.
Top of the morning to you.
Applejack greeted.
I hope all of you are ready for a super duper happy day today!
Pinky beamed.
Guys, I had a dream last night, but it felt so real.
Twilight began.
What do you mean, darling?
Rarity inquired.
Like, it was more than just a dream. It was a vision.
A vision?
Fluttershy asked.
What did you see?
Spike inquired.
I saw some sort of turtle creature.
Turtle.
The ponies asked.
Yeah, he wore a mask over his face, and he was carrying 2 swords, but there were others in it as well.
Twilight.
Applejack asked.
This one being wearing armor with many blades, and 2 more animal creatures. One looked like a dark gray wolf, and another looked like a tiger.
Twilight, you told me you've had real strange dreams before, but this takes it.
Spike said, feeling a bit creeped out. Twilight scowled at her assistant's words.
But there were more. I saw the Dazzlings in it as well.
The Dazzlings?
The girls and Spike asked.
Didn't you say those were the sirens you dealt with in the other world?
Rarity wondered.
That's right. And they were still in their human forms in my dream. That means the vision has to take some place in the other world.
But where?
Spike asked.
I don't know, but I do know one thing. The Dazzlings will gain their power again. I need to send a word to Sunset Shimmer and see if anything is going on.
Twilight said, as she levitated the journal she uses to keep in contact with Sunset Shimmer.
If there was something bad going on, don't you think she would have messaged you about it?
Rainbow Dash asked Twilight as she began to write.
Maybe. Or maybe she or any of the girls there don't even know about it.
The princess answered as she finished her message.
How do you think the Dazzlings got their magic back if you destroyed their gemstones?
Spike wondered.
I don't know, Spike, but somehow they had them restored and they looked just as dangerous.
Twilight explained before seeing the journal glowing.
It's from Sunset Shimmer!
The group watched as a new message was forming on the page.
Dear Twilight, this dream you've told me sounds unreal, but I assure you there's been no traces of the Dazzlings anywhere. But if this is some kind of vision, then maybe you should come back to Canterlot High so we can discuss this. I know you've been busy being a princess and all, but if the Dazzlings do have their magic back, or get it again, I don't think the 6 of us will be able to handle them without your knowledge.
Twilight pondered on Sunset's suggestion before giving an answer.
I'll be right over.
She finished her message and looked to her friends.
Girls, I'm going back to Canterlot High.
She took the journal and went to the library where the mirror portal was set up, still modified with Twilight's alterations.
Are you sure you should be taken off like this, Twilight?
Applejack asked.
I know it's unexpected, but the Dazzlings are a problem, and my friends in the other world could use my help.
And mine too.
Spike spoke up.
After all, I did help last time.
Twilight smiled.
I know, Spike.
She levitated the journal into its component above the mirror, and the magic from it opened the portal.
Okay, this is it. Girls, be sure to remove the journal when Spike and I go through. I don't want anything from our world or the other world coming to here or there.
Fluttershy inquired.
I'll have Sunset Shimmer write a message into the journal for you all to keep an eye on.
Twilight answered, and her friends nodded in confirmation.
Ready, Spike?
Ready!
Spike confirmed.
Then let's go!
The two went through the portal. The two groaned and opened their eyes to see they were back in the other world again. And like the previous times before, Twilight had taken the form of a human girl, while Spike took the form of a dog.
We made it.
And in one piece.
Twilight got up on her feet and looked around the school, seeing no one around, until a group of voices called out.
Twilight!
Twilight and Spike turned and saw coming over was their reformed friend Sunset Shimmer and the rest of the main five's human counterparts.
Hi, girls!
Twilight greeted them as the 6 girls embraced her. Spike did a few barks, hoping to get some attention. Human Rarity looked down and smiled.
Oh, little Spikey Wikey.
Oh, yes.
Spike panted in relaxation.
We're glad you came.
Applejack began.
Sunset told us on our way here you had some dream about the Dazzler.
That's right.
Well, let's go someplace and catch up.
Pinky suggested, and they all agreed. At the human version of Sugar Cube Corner, the 7 girls were sitting down at a booth, enjoying a drink, while Fluttershy was feeding Spike a dog biscuit. After Twilight told the girls about her dream, they were all concerned.
That sounded like one messed up dream, Twilight.
Rainbow said.
Yeah, and I thought my dreams were bizarre.
Pinky put in.
I don't understand it myself, but whoever it was I saw in my dream, he looked like he needed help. And that guy who was with the Dazzlings, I never seen someone so intimidating since Sombra or T-Rex.
Twilight said, feeling scared.
And you didn't manage to catch a name at all?
Sunset asked.
None. Isn't there anything you saw in your dream that can help us in finding out where this vision of yours took place?
Rarity asked. Twilight looked back on her dream and all the surroundings. She then recalled a sign close to her with a name on it.
I remember a sign on a street reading Bleecker Street.
Then, all of a sudden, Pinkie Pie gasped.
I know where that is!
You do?
Twilight asked hopefully.
Sure.
Pinkie Pie then pulled out her laptop from her bag and ran a search on the street that Twilight had named.
Here it is, on Bleecker Street in New York City.
New York City?
Twilight had asked.
Only place with a street called Bleecker.
Pinkie Pie explained.
And that's where I was in my dream when the events went down.
Twilight said.
Okay, so what now?
Rainbow asked.
I have to go there.
Twilight answered.
Huh?
The girls wondered.
If that place is where I had my dream, then that place has the answers I'm looking for.
Do you even know how to get there?
Spike asked.
I have no idea.
She answered sheepishly. The rest of the girls rolled their eyes and giggled.
Not to worry, Twilight. I can fix that.
Rarity said.
You can?
Twilight asked.
Of course. As of now, we're all in summer vacation, so we can all travel together.
The fashion girl explained.
Don't you even think about telling us not to come.
Applejack warned her.
Because we're sure to come anyway.
Pinky put in. Twilight smiled, knowing how true that was.
Okay, girls. And thanks. But how are we gonna get to New York? Just let me make a few calls.
Rarity began.
I happen to know many people in high places. Alright, road trip!
Rainbow cheered as the rest of the girls started getting excited. Unbeknownst to them, outside the shop, the Dazzlings had been listening in on their conversation ever since they saw them enter the building.
Did you two hear that?
Adagio asked hopefully.
How could we not? We're right here.
Aria answered dryly.
Then you know what's going on. Twilight claims we can get our magic back. Yeah, but we don't even know how. She doesn't even know how.
Aria reminded her.
Even so, we have a lead as to where to go to get our powers back. New York City. And just how are we supposed to get there, Adagio?
Aria inquired.
Why don't we ask the Rainbows to give us a ride?
Sanada suggested, only for her two friends to roll their eyes.
That plan is the worst, Sanada.
Answered Aria.
You're the worst!
Sanada replied as she pushed Aria. Aria then pushed Sanada back, and the two started fighting. Adagio grew agitated and smacked the back of their heads.
Focus, you two. We will find a way to get to New York, and once we're there, we will find a way to restore our powers and make every single being in this world do our bidding.
Adagio promised as she smirked with hope.